So this is the first question and answer session. So we have received a couple of written questions. So we will start the session with the written questions. Yeah.
We have received 4 reports, Bante. Can hear? Okay. Thero Saranai. Bante, we are extremely lucky and feel Pubbe Katapunyata as you even at this day braving to come in kindness to us the yogis at Kalalgoda. May you attain the path of Nibbana within this lifetime. I have now been able to gain fairly good status in walking meditation and glad to inform you that I can most of the time concentrate well on my steps, movements and find a level of concentration to keep my walk and feel the step taking up, moving, stepping down and next moving the other step, etc., etc. However, I am unable to recognize the anatta as it is normal way. Is this because still I am not developed my mind to see the non-satisfactoriness due to my kilesa or not doing sufficient practice?
Yeah, actually, anatta, not only anatta, actually, the anicca, dukkha, anatta, all three. So, are the universal characteristics, what we call impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self. Actually, we don't need to really hurry to look at it. Rather, it's a matter of continuing our practice, continuing our investigation, observation, and that thorough investigation slowly improve our understanding about anicca, dukkha, anatta. And we have heard about anicca, dukkha, anatta. We have heard about impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self using the books. But when you are really understanding it, it could be different. So that's an interesting point. Now, say for example, you might have heard about anatta, various notes, various Dhamma sermons. But when you yourself understand anatta, so it could be really kind of a different way that you are understanding. So that is the real, what you say, kind of the most appropriate or most profound and more whatever the most close to your heart, and depending on what kind of practice that you have done. So depending on that kind of a situation that you understand anatta. So therefore, when someone is explaining anatta, it may not be the exact way that you are understanding it when you are going through your practice. So therefore, we can't copy these insights. So we have heard anicca, dukkha, anatta. We have heard enough from the Buddha's teaching. So we can have some kind of a direction. We can have some kind of a idea about it, but that is not exactly the same thing that you are realizing. So that is good in a way, because otherwise we can simply copy it and pass the exam, no? So you can't do it. So you can't copy it from even the Buddha and pass the exam. So you have to practice yourself, you have to do the observation again and again. So this thorough investigation, observation will slowly help you to have some understanding, and so that your own understanding and the book's explanation, later you may do some kind of a comparison. So when you do comparison, then you may understand, yes, I have some similar understanding, very close understanding. But it may really fell to your heart. You may really feel, yes, that is the thing that I also have experienced. So likewise, kind of a eye-opening insight may have to happen within yourself. So therefore, no need to worry that I couldn't yet understand anatta. Rather, it's a matter of continuing your practice diligently, maintaining your attention to various phenomena and observing their behavior. So that's all we need to do. So we can't condition that investigation telling that I need to look at anatta, I need to look at anatta. That is entirely wrong. What we need to do is simply maintain a very unbiased, very calm, relaxed observation without any inner chatter and without any preconceived ideas, with a very open, relaxed mind that will properly stimulate the understanding. That will really trigger the understanding within your mind. That is more fresh, that is more profound, that is more close to your heart, because that is your own kind of understanding. It is not exactly that you have copied from the book. Rather, you do your own investigation, your hard work that has produced kind of a very deep understanding. So that is something that we need to encourage, rather than simply someone else is telling something and I am also trying to understand the same thing. We can't do like that. So my understanding and another person's understanding could have some discrepancies, some variations. That's all right. But in terms of the essence wise, some similarities are there, but there may be slight changes. That's all right. Yeah.
Report number 2. Most Venerable Bhante, I practice Anapana by watching the breath. Morning session is by about 5:30 a.m. During this sitting, with no time, the breath settles in. I do not feel the boundaries of my body and do not feel any gap between the body and outside world. Every morning sitting is like this and no thoughts also. However, during the daytime, sittings are different. It takes time to settle myself. Even the breath settles in. Flow of thoughts are never ending. After about half an hour only, calmness arrives. At times during the thoughts, I realize certain Dhamma, like it is because I have given an importance to that incident it is appearing, or that I have made it mine and that is why it is appearing. During day-to-day life, reflection of Dharmata appears as I am able to during the day-to-day life, reflection of Dharmata appears and I am able to let go or face whatever come my way. Thank you and much merits to you for all the guidance. May you achieve all your Dhamma desires in this very life.
Yeah, so as we are continuing our practice, so this is very much the observation we can say that we are going through. So at the beginning, we can't understand where exactly we are moving forward. It's a kind of vague idea that we are having. So that's why we need a fair amount of faith on Buddha and Buddha's teaching and the Sangha. So that's why, we are going in a path where we have never gone. We didn't experience. But later, slowly, when you are developing your own understanding, then you get a fair amount of confidence. Okay, this is what exactly going to happen. This is how I approach. This is how various defilements may appear. This is how various fetters in the mind are influencing my mind. So likewise, you get some clear picture. So that represents fair amount of practice actually. It is not simply information that we gather from the books. Rather, you have gone through your own ups and downs. You have gone through various experiences in your own practice. So that really matters. So therefore, we can't say that the yogi who is just a beginner experiencing the same thing that a person who has fairly done fair amount of practice, because as we continue the practice, as I mentioned previously, so some kind of a maturity develops within ourselves. So we are maturing in the spiritual side. So certain understandings are further developing, maturing, deepening, and some more insights are gathering. So likewise, we are coming to a more and more understanding. So therefore, what you have experienced is quite valid, and it's a matter of continuation, our practice. Yeah.
Report number 3, Theruvan Saranai. Dear Bhante, I am a yogi who has been meditating, but not very seriously, over the past 4 years. The first thing I noticed was a little happiness which started in my mind and gradually increased to something like elation. Over time, this settled down to happiness and contentment. Now I am content most of the time and I do not get upset easily. But sometimes I feel that I am inappropriately happy even when things are not that good. For example, the country situation right now does not worry me and I feel ashamed to tell others about it. I feel that I should be more caring. I hope this will happen with time and more practice. Dear Bhante, is this a usual thing with meditation? Do you think I can develop more empathy with others with more practice? Thank you, dear Bhante. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, interesting. So, so basically, we don't need to really cry with others. So so that is not expected. We have to show some sort kind of example in the other hand. So if we have fair amount of practice, so we can really verify whether this practice has really helped me, even the troubled situations. So actually during the troubled situation only that we can verify our understanding. It is not that things are happening really well and everything happens smoothly. So at that time we can't really check whether we have some deep understanding. But on the other hand, when things go wrong and not coming on your way, in the sense that in a more advantageous way to your side, rather things are collapsing and people are maybe accusing and so many things are happening, but still if you can maintain your serenity, if you can maintain your stability of the mind, that represents something. Actually, Buddha himself has mentioned, there is a time, I think King Kosala, So when King Kosala was discussing with the Buddha, at that time he noticed several other ascetics were traveling on the road. And then he mentioned to Buddha, Bhante, I have to pay respect to them because they are arahants, so I am now going to pay respect to them. And he came out, and one by one they are going, and he paid respect to them. And again he came back to Buddha. So then actually they are not monks, but some other ascetics. And after returning to King Kosala, Buddha mentioned, you can't know exactly who are the arahants. So even when you simply associate a person for a short period of time, still you can't verify. Even if you associate a person for long period of time, still if you are not having fair amount of vigilance, some investigative mind, still you can't understand. Again, a person, if he is not going through some difficulties, and the observer is experiencing how he is tackling those difficulties, so that is another attribute that you have to verify. It is not that everything is happening smoothly and you are associating that person for a longer time, but nothing special has happened. So then still you can't verify. But on the other hand, suppose that you are observing this person for a long time and he has gone through a lot of ups and downs in his life, and then you are getting fair amount of chance to observe how he is behaving, whether he is maintaining his stability of the mind, etc. So then you can verify. So likewise, Buddha mentioned, so we also have to have fair amount of vigilance to verify another person. So it depends on our skill as well, our caliber as well. And as here it is mentioned, so as we are developing, so we get this stability of the mind. So that is what we call as resilience. So as we develop mindfulness, so it helps to maintain the mind, or rather quickly returning our mind back to the normalcy. So we may collapse, we may encounter various problems, but we can quickly return back. It's like a shock absorber. So you can absorb, you can aware of things are going wrong, but you can maintain yourself. Integrity of the mind is well maintained. So that is important. But there's a little difference here. Some people are quite insensitive. So they are not sensitive. Rather, they don't care. So that is not what we are talking here. So we have to have a kind of a differentiation between these two situations. So some people are there, they are not doing kind of a practice, but their minds are very insensitive and they don't care what happens to the others. And they are maintaining also kind of a stability of the, we can't say really stability, but insensitivity of the mind. And that is not really what we are talking here. A person who is developing mindfulness becomes more and more sensitive on the other hand. So he understands his own emotions, he understands another person's emotions, so his emotional literacy is fairly high. So he feels, that's why the term empathy is coming to the picture, that you are empathetic about the situations, what others are going through. So you are quite empathetic, but still it doesn't mean that you go and cry with them. You are maintaining your stability, but still you are compassionate. Still your heart felt something. So that is important. I mean, that is not easy also. Because, I mean, either we can become kind of very insensitive, indifferent kind of a person, or we can become quite sensitive and crying with the other people and becoming more stressed or disappointed, depressed kind of a person. So both have to be avoided. Rather, you have to be sensitive, you have to be empathetic, but have to be compassionate, but still maintain the stability of the mind. You are not losing your stability of the mind. So these things are coming with, practice, with by going through various difficult situations. So therefore, I mean, all these country situations, all these things happening to all of us, therefore we can take in that light. So when we are coming through all these difficulties, can I bear it? Can I maintain it? Can I withstand it? And so this stability to maintain, this ability to maintain or ability to sustain your attention, the resilience, and on the other hand, you can bear even a hard situation. So these are the qualities that we have to feel that I am improving. Because I mean, during the first stages of our practice, so there may be various insights happening, those may be appear new, and later once you experience something, then later you don't feel that I am daily experiencing some insights. It may not happen. Even weekly that I am getting a new insight, even it may not happen. But slowly if you look back and you may understand, okay, I have gone through some difficult situations, but I have somehow handled it. I have tackled it. So long time ago I didn't have that. Previously I didn't have that ability, but now I have that kind of a maturity. I can maintain it. I am not becoming so much emotional. I am not get easily provoked. So those represent that I am slowly continuing, improving myself, and that I can endure things, patiently endure situations. So those are the things that we need to learn. Actually, our patient endurance has become really less with the technological advancement, because we have become people who are short-tempered, quickly getting angry, and we don't have patience. We can't understand another person. We can't control our own emotions. So likewise, we have become fairly short-tempered. But on the other hand, if we consider, our parents or our grandparents, I mean, they have gone through a lot of, life experiences. Probably I may have a degree and all whatever different things. They may not have, but they have some strong life experiences that they have gone through, and that have given them enough strength to cope up with certain situations, more than me maybe even. So likewise, we have to somewhat ground ourselves, more become kind of humble, because all these difficulties help us to develop that kind of a life experiences, difficult situations, so that we can really verify where am I, whether the practice has really helped me to overcome the kind of agitations happening in myself, contain all these agitations, and still maintain the purity of the mind, not blaming others and all these different things. I'm just absorbing things. So, I mean, this is how we can say, okay, some improvement is happening. Yeah.
Report number 4. Dear Most Venerable Bhante, mornings, walking and sitting meditation sessions were peaceful, calm and tranquil. Occasionally, a thought about a recent event would flip across the mind and go away. Daval Dana. Thanked all beings who contributed to this retreat and Dana. Then tried to eat. Kept seeing faces of hungry people and sad eyes. The mind collapsed. Food choked. How does one eat when a whole nation is hungry? I couldn't calm down. Theruvan Saranai. P.S. I know that I have food because of Peraping, but it is not a consolation when most are hungry. Opposite of the earlier.
Opposite of what? What we discussed earlier. Yeah, I mean, here it is we become more emotional and we become very much like not maintaining our stability. Rather, we want to cry with others. That is not what is necessary. Say, the country is going through some difficult decision, let us face it. Let us endure it. So that's what happened even to the Buddha, not to us, not only to us. Say, when Buddha went to Veranja, so it was doing well and everything is fine. And one Brahmin called Veranja, he invited Buddha to spend Vassa there for 3 months. And then he totally forgot Buddha. And at that time, the country also faced difficulties. No food at all. And whole Sangha, including Buddha, so have no rice to eat. No rice to eat. I mean, now what is the cost of rice? 1 kilo, 260 or something? Even more than that. Different places, different prices. But how about no rice at all? So during the Buddha's time, so not only the Buddha, the Sangha, so no rice at all. During those period of time, even a far place is available within India. They can't bring it quickly. So, they only had the basic transportation. Now we also may move towards basic transportation. So it happened in India when Buddha was there. And then Venerable Moggallana came forward and he invited, Bhante, I have the ability, I can even go to the celestial realms, I can get the very best food. Please allow me, then I can help the Buddha and the Sangha. Buddha denied. No, not necessary. So let's endure this. So what is prepared for horses is offered to the Sangha and the Buddha. So remember, this is Buddha, not just Sangha. So Buddha has how much of Dana Parami he has given, I know. It is not just the physical material things. He has given his flesh, his blood, his life. So this is the Buddha we are talking. Even for such person had to go through these kind of difficulties, then how about us? So therefore we have to endure. Things may become even worse. Let's patient. Without adding our own mental suffering to the picture. Blaming others or something. People may have done mistakes, but internally we burn may consume more energy. Then you have to eat more. So rather we better get into energy saving mode. So just eat a little and just save your energy. Then you are less consuming food or whatever it is. We haven't come that level yet. There is no scarcity as such. But these are the situations really, and Buddha has given very interesting examples. That's why Buddha could have allowed Venerable Moggallana to bring food, and then the whole Sangha is doing well and no need to go through all the troubles. But he didn't do that. He has given a really interesting example to all of us. So it is not only this time, so there are these kind of situations every time, in every times of our history. You may have heard about Brahminitiyasaya and very, very difficult times. And interesting in a way, even when we were coming today, actually, we monks were discussing, what a kind of time that we are living. If we think about our recent past, so we went through all the racial problems in 89, all burnings and all these things. 81, I think, right? 81. And then on 89, we went through all the, burnings. People are burnt on the tires and all these things. That kind of a situation. Then for 30 years, we have gone through the war. And now we are going through this kind of situation as well. So welcome to sensual world. So this is the world that we are going to stay. This is the world that we have come. And if we are returning, this is the world that we are going to return. Welcome to the conditioned world. How about you get the next birth closer to Ukraine? Are you in control of where you are going to reborn? No. So that, how helpless we are in that sense. We can't decide exactly where I am going to get the rebirth. That's an interesting point. Now assume that Sinhalese and Tamils are fighting. We take it like that. And today suppose that you are in the Sinhalese party. Next birth, probably in the Tamil party. Now you are again fighting with your friends. Useless. So we are fighting for petty things in that sense. We haven't seen the kind of a broader picture of the samsara. So we are always taking these petty things, trivial things, and we are fighting. This is the human world. Every time. During the Buddha's time, the Sakyans and Kaulians, they are killing each other for water. Just for water. And Buddha's whole Sakyan clan massacred by King Vidudaba when Buddha was alive. So this is the human world. Not in this time, during the Buddha's time. And we sometimes think, Buddha's time is the really great time. Now we are in a bad time. This is the kind of a mentality we have. But all these difficulties have happened during the Buddha's time. How many wars have happened during the Buddha's time? King Ajatasatha is a warrior. And say Vidudaba, as I mentioned, he completely massacred this Sakyans. So likewise, so this is the human realm. Human realm is with blood in that sense. So our history is in a way bloody. So that's why Buddha is trying to develop, help us to understand the kind of a picture so that we have kind of a dispassion, kind of a disenchantment, rather than, attach into these things and holding things and telling this is mine, you don't have this, I am the one having this, I want it. The other people are also fighting for the same thing. So that is why, Buddha therefore help us to develop dispassion, help us to develop nibbida, disenchantment, rather than attached to samsara. Buddha's teaching guide us to free from samsara, not to come back. So that's why, even to his own son, Venerable Rahula, you have heard or you have read about Rahula Sutta, available in Sutta Nipata, very beautiful sutta. So Buddha mentioned Animittancha bhavehi mananusaya mujjaha. That is one thing. The other thing is malokang punaragami. So Buddha is stating to Venerable Rahula, malokang punaragami. Do not come back to this world. So you can think a father telling to his father, do not come back. So I also can tell it, but I also bound to come back. So still, we have lust, still we have anger, so still we are bound to come back. So that's why, so we no point of blaming others. It's our own fault in that sense. So this is what we have developed in this long samsara. So when things are going wrong, I am getting angry. So I am developing anger within myself. When things are really beautiful, pretty, I am developing lust. I am developing lust within myself, raga-anusaya. So till we have raga-anusaya, till we have patigahanusaya, we are bound to born in the sensual realm. No excuse. So that's why, the real roots have to be eliminated. Real causes have to be eliminated, abandoned, till that even though we don't want, we will return, we will come back. Therefore, the solution is within ourselves. Others may do various things, country may collapse, economy may collapse. How about having a mind free from anger, free from lust? So likewise, if we can think about our own situation, then rather than looking at outside, probably we can try to look at inside. When things are going wrong, am I burning internally? When someone is accusing, am I burning internally? When things are really going wrong, is the burning happens internally? So, these are really difficult situations to verify within ourselves, to check up our own mind. So let's take it in that angle, then we can survive some more months. Okay, that's all we have. Okay, so that's all we have received. If you have any other question, we have enough time.
Anyone would like to share their experience?
Actually, I was happy to see several vehicles here. Somehow you found petrol. So, and there are various stories actually. It is in a way it is good that our history is recorded. There is one time, one Samanera, he's called Vattabbaga Samanera. He is traveling with his teacher. His teacher is an Anagami. So Vattabbaga Samanera is very popular for his rendering duties. Very duty conscious person, a Samanera, novice, and he is traversing with his teacher, and those are recorded in the commentary, and in a scarcity of food, in a famine. So and then sometime they approach a village, they don't have rice, but rather they have some leaves. These are recorded. Interesting, you see, we think these are new things. It's new to us, but it was recorded, and these things have happened in Sri Lanka. So it is recorded. Now they are approaching a village, and those people are surviving somehow by eating leaves. So maybe a countryside and eating leaves, they are surviving. So these two, Samanera and the teacher, he survived. They also survived in that sense. Another time they are going to another area, nothing to eat, but he saw, coconut on the tree. But the teacher can't climb, but the Samanera can. So he climbed up, but the knife dropped. So no energy to come back, pick it up and go up. No energy. That feeble, that weak. Then he's a with an intelligent person. Now he used this, what you call the coconut leaves, and prepare one after the other, and he sent this thing, and the teacher bound the the end of it to the knife, and again slowly he took it up, and one after the other coconut was put down, and they drank it, they ate it. That day they survived like that. And later somehow Samanera escaped, but the teacher was captured by people who were eating what? Eating flesh. Human flesh. So these are recorded. So this is how, we have gone through, every country, every situation, every history has these kind of difficult situations. Now you see, say during the, I can't remember exactly what's Chullapaduma Jataka. Interesting couple, Bodhisattva and his wife. So they were crossing the desert. So while they were crossing the desert, no water, no food. And the wife was so thirsty. So what the king or prince Chullapaduma did? He cut the the muscle and allowed the wife to drink, and that's how they survived. But later various things happen. I don't want to tell those. Not good for the females. So these kind of things are there. And another interesting point is that Buddha was going on village Pindapata, and Mara want to get some revenge. And what he did was, now Mara somehow influenced the villagers. Mara influenced the villagers. So Buddha is now approaching a particular house, but no one is interested offering food. Then Buddha is approaching another house. Mara is influencing. No one is interested of giving food, offering food. So likewise, Buddha tried so many houses till the noon time arrives, no food. And then after, say, noon is ended, now Mara approached Buddha and he is asking, have you received food? Then Buddha mentioned, so you did it, you are responsible. I didn't receive any food. But I am not suffering. So the piti arising in myself, the joy arising in myself becomes kind of a food for me. So those kind of situations are very interesting. And and another interesting time, that is how Venerable Sivali has come to the picture. So you have heard about Venerable Sivali. So Buddha and the monks, they have to cross over a desert or a kind of a very difficult area, and it is get to know that no food is available in that area, so somehow they have to go through it. And the monks are approaching Buddha and informing the Buddha, Bhante, in that area that where we are going to go, now they are going through a famine, so what are we going to do? Then Buddha is checking the other monks, is Venerable Sivali available in our crowd? Yes, Bhante, he is there. Then nothing to worry. Let's go. So Venerable Sivali has the merit power that wherever they go, not only to himself, even the full crowd is fully supported. So in a way, this is a time in order to verify our merit power. So actually I can remember I was going on village Pindapata. When I was in Navina monastery, certain days are there. So I go on village Pindapata. I don't need to go too long. Within 2-3 houses, bowl is full with food and fruits and curries and everything is there. On another day, I am going. Nothing is there. Maybe only rice. No curries, no vegetables, and no fruits at all. Sometimes just sambal and some dal. That's it. So in a way, we can see. Sometimes I go and people don't see me. People are there, but they don't see me. And sometimes I am going very long, several kilometers even. Not enough food. But as I said, on some other days, I don't have to go even say quarter kilometer. Within couple of houses, everything is provided. So that is how our merit powers, our karma operating. It's all very, really unstable. If I am a really gifted person, then I have to receive food every day. No, I may not have that merit power, like Venerable Sivali. So, but by the way, these are the areas that we can see how these karmas have a great impact on us. So maybe I am going on the same route, same path, but people are not looking at me. They don't see me. On certain other days, immediately they notice me. They even call the other houses and they invite other house also. Here Hamduro is coming, just offer food, and they are inviting others, and within couple of houses I am done. I am provided everything. So how karma is operating? You also may have experienced that. Say you are going to the petrol shed, maybe. So sometimes quickly somehow things have happened. As you are arriving, only another thing, say interesting incident, that's a true thing happened. some grandmother going to see the Dalada Maligawa. You know, Dalada, I mean, they are annually they are showing, exhibiting the Dalada. Now she is very old and she is on the far away queue. I mean, they have to go through the queue, no? Far away queue. I mean, now the queue is on the road. And a heavy rain has happened. Everybody has gone to this and that places. So the queue is quickly approaching, very closer to the Dalada Malika. So the grandmom got quickly, got to the Dalada Malika and look at and venerated the Dalada. Things have happened very quickly. So only the people who could survive the rain, they had the opportunity. So I saw that someone has, you know, what's that? Debere, what's the English term? Debere. Sometimes, you know, on a huge branch of a tree, a huge beehive. They are not really the bees. Worms. Wasps, yeah. So while the crowd was there for several kilometers in the petrol, somebody aimed the wasp. Everybody gone. Huh? Everybody gone. No, it has happened. I saw the news. It has happened. It's happened. Yes. Yeah. So you have to wear, by the way, the whole thing. So you have to be prepared and you have to go, then you will become the first. I mean, interesting in a way. I mean, things are, on the opposite also happen and people are dying and all the bad things are there. I mean, this is how all these things are there. And don't expect that the whole other world also will go through a fully luxurious life. I mean, things are changing as well. That's what I got some news. Say other countries are also facing many difficulties. And just today, Amil mentioned me that in terms of Sri Lankan rupees, now US is selling 1 liter for 525 or something. 1 liter, US. I mean, US typically it is very cheap because everyone is using vehicles, so it's very cheap, the fuel cost. But now in terms of Sri Lankan rupees, it is more than 500 something or something like he mentioned. So the whole world is going through some interesting time. Anyway, I mean, we don't have much to discuss, about the other things then. So I will stop here and we will start the Dhamma sermon maybe around 4 p.m. Power cut, I saw it's around 7:45 something, no? 7:30, yeah, 7:30. So we can manage the whole session without much trouble. Okay, thank you very much for participation.